So we have Dr. Hippolyte Fofack, Chief Economist at African Export-Import Bank in Cairo. Thank you for joining us.
I should be thanking you.
So tell me, why are you here? And what are you hoping to get out of this forum this year?
As you know, Brazil is a very important player within the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, which has become a global platform for leading the South-South cooperation agenda. And Brazil also, as we discussed, one of the most complex economy in the world, which has a lot to offer to Africa at a time when the shift toward the trade integrating reform through the African Continental Free Trade Area offered tremendous potential for investment, but also the success of that reform very much hinges on shift toward manufacturing industries, industrial development, structural transformation, technology transfer, something we can get from Brazil. And also related, you clearly know some of the challenges we are facing within the African continent, and whereby we are spending on average, if you look at the last figure in 2018, more than $40 billion on food imports, projected to reach $110 billion by 2025. If you go by this number, the African Export-Import Bank is in the business of promoting African trade. Those leakages in the foreign reserve space, in the trade space, which are costing African dearly, are things that we would like to actually begin to reduce the cost and use that trade in commodities, in agriculture, in manufacturing to boost intra-African trade. And the fact that the main theme of the conference here is about using food security to drive growth and transformations. It's a very timely topic, something that resonates very well with the African Export-Import Bank agenda.
So how, can you just give me, I guess, an overview of how, your bank is financing projects in the agricultural sector?
And we've always been doing that. And if you look at the bank at inceptions, the mandate was essentially to promote African trade, both extra and intra-African trade. Our first project as a bank was the Ghana Cocoa Board, where we actually financed the export of African cocoa toward off-takers in Europe. But we realized that as an export-import bank for a developing economy, if you simply focus on financing export, you will essentially be financing the status quo. You will not be transforming African countries, African economies, which is creating more jobs and reducing the risk of global volatility and exogenous shocks, which are commodity price cycle. So what we've done recently, still in the cocoa space, is to launch what we call AfriCoins, the African Cocoa Initiative, which is to say, we're going now to intervene across the entire cocoa value chains, from cocoa bean productions, processing into cocoa butter, value additions. As a result of that project, Côte d'Ivoire, which is the first cocoa producing country in the world, overtook Netherlands in terms of processing cocoa beans into cocoa powder, cocoa liquors. So that's some of the things we've done specifically in that particular sector, the agricultural cocoa production and value additions.
So when it comes to South-to-South cooperation, what is your bank doing, I guess, to promote that?
I mentioned promoting African trade as a key mandate of the bank. another mandate of the bank is South-South cooperation, South-South trade. And one of the key objectives of promoting South Africa-South trade is that it tends to reduce Africa dependency on traditional historical partner. And as it used to be said, when Europe sneezes, Africa catches cold. And then Europe accounted for almost 50% of African trade. It did not really help. As a result of us promoting that South-South trade, we've actually seen African trading partners shifting toward the developing South. Today, developing Asia with more in African trade than Europe, which is a good thing in terms of reducing that dependency risk. But South-South trade in the African context is also intra-African trade, right? And on the intra-African trade space, we're happy to report that we moved from 8% of total African trade almost 20 years ago to 16% today. We're hoping to see this grow to even 25–30%. As part of that, in our current plan, we have $25 billion revolving financing of intra-African trade over the planned implementation period ending in 2021. So we're doing also a lot of things in the area of payment systems, the Pan-African payment settlement system, to draw on digital revolutions, to reduce the dollar or foreign currency content of intra-African trade, and therefore address liquidity risk, exchange risk, which have been other constraint to intra-African trade, therefore South-South trade.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I guess enjoy the rest of your meetings.
Oh, thank you very much for having us. It's a great opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.